Hello and welcome to this week's podcast. I'm Mod Matt He, and this week with me I have some special guests.
I am Mod Merchant. I'm the community manager for Irish Chronicle.
And I'm Mod Fox, senior designer on Chronicle.
And this week we're going to be talking Chronicle because the beta has just launched.
Absolutely.
Indeed it has.
Full of lovely players all having lots of fun.
Definitely. When they can log in.
When they can log in. that's great, yeah. Our servers are a little more... You should give more credit to our servers.
Oh, no, absolutely. They've been doing amazing work.
Very good.
Yeah.
Things are looking good.
Yeah. There were a couple of little blips last night, but really settled down.
Yeah, I mean, the guys like Mod Vagard and Mod Genesis have been doing absolutely incredible work. They were up all night fixing the servers, so absolute credit to them. They've done an amazing job.
So what is Chronicle?
Well, a good question. We call Chronicle a tactical... Well, no, we don't, actually. We don't call it that at all.
We do not
we call it a strategy card game.
We do.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So it has very close connections to the idea of a quest builder. So using cards to build little adventures and little quests for these really cool legends that exist within RuneScape's universe. You put your cards down and you create a nice little sequence of events that help build those legends up and give them cool stuff, give them lots of armor, give them lots of weapons, make them stronger in combat, defeat bigger and bigger creatures.
Yep.
And eventually, with the sole purpose of trying to defeat your opponent.
Absolutely. The strategy element plays a heavy role as well. Because of the quest-building nature of the game, it's really up to you entirely to devise your path. We've really moved away from, luck. There's very little randomness. It's all you have to devise your strategy and act upon that path.
Well, yeah, because it's your deck you build. And
Absolutely.
How tightly you build that deck reduces any RNG.
Absolutely. The more reliable that you get your strategy down, the more success you're going to find in Chronicle.
Absolutely. And on the subject of randomness as well, I mean, every turn you get to play 4 cards. So you're very able to make very cool combos and sequences play out. Which obviously, you've got a little bit of uncertainty about how your opponent's going to...
I was going to say, while your rival tries to upset those well-thought plans.
Absolutely, and that is part of the game.
Definitely.
Trying to be aware of what your opponent can do, but obviously at the same time trying to make sure that you've got some of the best combos there to really build your character up.
Absolutely, and this is where it really moves into it's a clash of minds, not a clash of luck. We don't want... there's no fun when a random effect occurs and one player loses enormously because of it.
Yeah.
We want you to win or lose through your decisions.
Yeah, and one of the best ways of doing that, because each of our legends, each of the characters you can play inside Chronicle, they have very particular play styles. So the more you play it, the more you start to learn about what they might be able to do or how they might be able to upset your plans. And so you can start really kind of thinking about that and working that into your decisions about how you want to play your cards.
Absolutely. It's a game of counters. Like a true strategy game, it's a game of knowing your enemy, knowing your capabilities, and acting responsibly with that.
And we've got some pretty cool legends.
We have some pretty cool legends. We'll get onto those later.
Yeah.
So how do you play? So when you sit down at your screen and you open up the game, how do you go about playing?
So when you enter the game, we have a variety of modes. You can either practice against the AI, you can also play in a casual or a ranked queue. So the gameplay is fairly similar in all of those modes. Naturally, it's more competitive against other players. However, so when you start, there's a random decider to decide whether you're first or second.
Yep.
The first player gets the advantage of having the first cards. However, that's not as big an advantage as it sounds. I've seen some people thinking that first really is this heavy benefit.
Yeah.
But the fact is, we have the numbers, we have the stats, and people would be very surprised to see them. I'm actually going to do infographics.
Yeah.
Making these stats clear to people. I want to be as transparent as I can.
Some of our players do love infographics.
Absolutely. I love them myself. I'm a big card player. The more stats you can throw at me, the better. So that's my plan for the players. And I want to be as open as possible. And I want to say, look, you may think going first is this strategy, but actually when you're second and you get that extra card, and you get the last action of the game, and that's what I want to really impress upon players.
I've been hearing you talk about last action bashes.
Yeah, absolutely. If you bash somebody in the last slot, you're going to have to play the game because that is a true pleasure that has to be experienced.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you get this Linza and she's running towards the final fight, and she picks up a Saradom and Godsword.
Yeah.
And then you're like, actually, I have the last word here, and you're not having that.
Yeah, that's decimating.
Absolutely. It can turn the tide of battle in an instant, and it's just such an epic move.
I had it done to me this morning.
Yeah, it hurts, right? But you kind of got to give it to the other person and go, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah, you got me. Yeah.
It's a weird one because you would think going second comes with disadvantages in a game like this, but it doesn't seem to. There's definite pros and benefits from going second.
Yeah.
And as Mod Merchant said, we've got lovely graphs and lots of data now starting to come through, which seems to suggest that it's pretty even at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
That's good.
So once you're first or second, you get Delta Hand?
Yes. So you get Delta Hand. If you are first, you will be starting the game with 6 cards.
Okay.
And if you're second, you will start the game with 7. Now, the interesting thing about this is that actually, if you think of it, you draw 3 cards a turn as well.
Yeah.
So if you're first and you play 4 cards in the first round, then actually, if you're not drawing any extra cards, then you're going to have quite limited options. You don't know what those cards you're going to draw are going to be. So second, again, comes into a big advantage. You get that extra card. You get that extra utility. And you can just look at your hand and go, I've got a more clear idea of what I'm going to do.
And in a game where it's all about building combos, right? Having those extra cards and having those extra options is a massive benefit.
Absolutely.
It's a multiplier.
You look at somebody like Ozan, you look at somebody like Ariane, the more tricks they can get in their bag, it's golden for them. If I'm playing either of those two, I actually prefer to go second.
Okay. So you're dealt this hand, and you're first and second have the extra card. How does play continue on the board?
So in each chapter, we call them chapters,
right?
And the game can last up to 5 chapters.
Yep.
There are 4 little empty slots on each chapter where you can actually place your cards down, and you can mess around with the order of those things. You can change the order of the cards, but you can only ever play a maximum of 4.
Right.
And once you've done that, once you're happy with your little setup, you get to press the play button.
Yep.
And that then locks everything down.
Yep.
And then assuming your opponent's also decided what 4 cards or how many cards they want to play as well, we then enter into this little moment where we get to see our legends moving through the landscape, moving through the environment, actually interacting with each of the cards in the order which you played them. So the important thing really is to understand that the cards you are putting down aren't against your opponent. They're not things your opponent's going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
They are really things for your legend. And
for your legend.
You've got to be really mindful about how much health your legend has.
Yeah.
You don't want to, put down massive creatures in the first slot, which can risk killing them, for example, because that will lose you the game.
And in fact, sometimes the card will tell you that, won't it? When you're going to place it, it will say your legend will fall or similar.
So back in the day, we weren't nearly as kind in game about, trying to help out the player, and a lot of people in the Chronicle team had to do a lot of maths and got a lot of headaches. But these days it's a lot easier, and the game just helps us and tells us if there's going to be like a particular problem with a creature, and that just basically makes it a lot more easier to play the game.
Yeah, we have a pretty wicked guidance system in that will stop you from making too calamitous a mistake.
Yes.
It's not going to win the game for you. No. It's not going to stop you being a bit silly, but it will stop you running into a brick wall, we hope. So, the really important distinction to make is that, like Fox touched on, the cards that you play are your strategy. They affect you. There are cards that will affect your opponent, but all cards placed are actions taken by you. Yeah. So it's really important to distinguish that when you place down your 4 cards, you then play through those, and they can be directly against your enemy, but we have a lot of people looking and going, how do I play this against my enemy if I'm putting it in my slot? Yeah. So, no, this card is actually an action that your legend is going to undertake on their quest. So.
And some of them may affect your rival.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And if that's the case, they say that explicitly on the card, so it's really clear.
Yeah, and I love the watch phase. We've got, so if you've got combat cards down...
let's not call it the watch phase.
Let's not call it the watch phase.
The watch phase is such an internal devy term. It's horrible.
I love the...
resolution.
The resolution of your cards.
It sounds more sciencey.
I love the bits where your legend does his cards.
Does the cards.
But when the cards are played, you get amazing burn downs. Your combat cards will transform into the full art of the creatures.
Yeah.
And our artists are just off the charts talented.
It's amazing. The
they
feedback
are
on that's
amazing guys. Like they're just so wonderful. And the game is a visual. It's absolutely fantastic to look at. It's a treat.
So what happens if I play my cards much faster than my opponent?
So you can hit the play button.
Yeah.
At which point a countdown begins, where your opponent has a little bit of an opportunity, about a minute or so, to really kind of nail down what they want to do as well. If that countdown runs out, then any cards they haven't played, empty slots, however things look, that gets submitted.
Locked in.
That's get locked in, and that's the turn, really. Yeah. It's also worth pointing out that you don't have to play like 4 cards each chapter. You don't have to play any cards, actually.
Yeah.
In some cases, it might be beneficial to not play anything.
Absolutely. You can actually bluff it out. Say our bash situation.
Yeah.
Say last card of the slot, you buy a big Saradomin Godsword. So your opponent, a Raptor, might think, I'm first, I'm going to bash it.
Yeah.
I'm going to bash that first slot of the next round. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but I'm not going to play my cards, and I'm just going to rebuild the next chapter. So actually, you're not going to hurt me.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose that weapon, but I'm not then going to try and beat up a Dagonoth Sentinel with my fist.
The great ones are where people play cards which say they're going to affect your creatures, like make them stronger. And then, if you submit a turn with no creatures, you're just kind of going, that didn't work, did it?
It's sort of like, I'm going to win by doing precisely nothing.
Yeah.
So if both of us, myself and my rival, get through all 5 chapters, what happens?
If that happens, then we have a bit of a final battle.
Yeah.
So we were really mindful about wanting to keep the length of the game sessions quite defined, just so they don't spiral into hours.
We don't want Raptors sitting there with 200 armor.
Exactly.
Just going,
So we put this final battle in there just to kind of neatly close everything off, and we think after 5 chapters that's quite a nice moment to do it.
Yeah.
So in that case, our legends will come together, and whatever stats they have, based on how much damage they can do and how much health or armor they have, they'll start battling each other, hitting it out until somebody gets to 0 health, and that will be the loser, and the other person is the victor.
And it's worth pointing out that that's a tactic in itself. I mean, your guys your stats heavy, build up base guys like Raptor and Linza, they're really looking to take things to the final battle. Because if you get a Raptor with all of his armor, he's built up a nice bit of base damage. If you get him going into the final battle against an Ariane, likelihood is that's going to end one way. I mean, there's no real chance an Ariane's going to take down a Raptor in the final fight. So it's a tactic in itself. I mean, survival is a tactic. If you want to just weather the storm and then batter them at the end, we thoroughly encourage that.
So we've talked about some characters. Who are the 4 characters, and how do they differ in the game?
We have Linza,
Yep.
who's our blacksmith of RuneScape, and she's all about the weapons. So she has a lot more access to weapons as rewards.
Yep.
But then she also has really cool cards that can actually upgrade weapons, unlike any other.
Improve durability or improve weapon
It's
attack.
bonus attacks, and she can also convert weapons into other things. So she can take whatever weapon attack she has and make that into pure armor, for example.
Yeah.
So she's really adept at doing that sort of stuff. We also have Raptor, who's our tank. So he's all about armor and he's all about health. And like Mod Merchant said, he's very good at just getting to that last battle and just kind of weathering everything you can throw at him and just kind of absorbing it and just kind of then almost just brushing it off and then decimating you, and he can be quite a challenge.
Absolutely. And so the other 2 legends are 2 of my sort of playstyle.
Okay.
They're all about the tricks, they're all about the combos, they're all about annoying your opponent as much as you can. And so the first one is Ozan, the thief. He's an amazing character. He's all about gaining gold, stealing gold directly off your rival, which can have some hilarious consequences.
So
there's nothing like
no Saradomin Godsword for you.
Exactly. There's nothing like stealing some gold and then watching your rival try to buy things.
The worst one is when he pretends to give you gold.
Oh, that's great.
And then he steals it back off you again.
Yeah,
so you're like,
Ozan, he's the master of tricks. He can think that you're going to be solid, and then last slot he just goes, "Oh, all that gold you've been holding for me? I'll have that back now. Cheers." Ozan's great. He's the absolute master of tricks. So how he wins is he can bribe allies. That's a really strong feature in his gameplay. So he will pay assassins to go after you. He will pay things to break your weapon. There's all sorts of stuff that he can do. He's largely focused around this gold manipulation. He can give it to bandits. He can even try to pump you full of gold and then hurt you based on your gold.
Yeah.
So he can go, I'm going to get a load of money and I'm going to give it to you. And then I'm going to make that gold kill you. So he's great. And the other one is Ariane. Now, Ariane is arguably one of my favorites. She is the combo mage. Combos are her domain. Ariane, you might think that you're getting off easily, You know, you'll be chilling. She'll be building up a little bit of gold. You know, she's not playing many cards.
No. I've seen that,
you know what's going to happen. Yeah,
She's drawing a lot of cards, right?
You're drawing a lot of cards, getting quite a bit of gold.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I don't know what she's doing. Yeah, she's not going to have any weapons. I'm not playing
You
Lindsay.
can only play a maximum of 4 cards.
And then
Why are you
all of a
drawing
sudden,
6 a turn?
absolutely, and all of a sudden you just see this card go down. You're like, oh, she's only played 1 card. What is this? And then you read the words Earth Blast.
Yes.
Exactly. And Earth Blast is a card that deals damage based on your hand size. And so it's just things like that. Like, Ariane is just this spectacular combo mage. I absolutely love playing her. There's so many ways you can go about it. You can go fast direct damage with your wind surges, you know, your fire surges. Or you can just build up to this enormous fireworks display of wiping somebody off the map. It's great.
Yeah, it's classy.
It's classy.
So we've got other features as well as characters. So there's deck building and card crafting building.
Absolutely, yeah. We really want to encourage people to experiment with deck building.
Right.
It is the lifeblood of any card game, especially Chronicle, one that's so focused on strategy. And so, we've put in a crafting system that essentially, if you have cards that you have duplicates of, or perhaps you've got an Ozan card, but you're really feeling playing some Linza, you can basically break that down into materials to craft other cards.
Right, okay.
And that works on a rarity basis.
Yeah.
So if you, say, got a diamond card, so you got a diamond card, you're really excited, but you didn't particularly want that diamond card, you can break it down to have some of the resources to put towards a different one.
Right.
And then we've also allowed you to upscale or downscale your materials. So if you've been getting lucky and getting a load of green cards in packs, you can go, I'm going to invest all of these and build up and get this diamond card that I really wanted. We really wanted to open up deck building to everyone because we want people to just go mad. We want to see the crazy strategies that people try out.
It's a little bit unique as well, isn't it? In the sense, you need a minimum number of cards in your deck of 30. But actually, you can flirt with how many, up to 50, I think.
You can, if you want, have up to 50 cards in your deck.
You can make slightly bigger decks.
I don't know how strongly I advise it, but I've seen 31 and 32 card decks do very well.
Yeah.
I'm sure as a card game player, you can understand that consistency is everything.
Yeah.
So,
if you've got a strategy, you want that strategy.
And we're talking pure stats. So if you've got a 30 card deck, I'm going to get all boring in card player. If you've got a 30 card deck and you add another card to that, you're adding about a 4.5% chance of not drawing a card that you want.
Yeah.
And so people go, it's just an extra card. I really want this. I want this extra fire surge. I want this extra wind surge. You have to be really careful with that. I mean, if you accommodate for it, fair play to you. You can make some killer decks.
Yeah.
But word of warning to the wise there.
Yeah. And also, we've really tried to give features to our deck building, because we're gamers as well.
Yeah.
We play card games.
Absolutely.
Shocking.
Shocking.
Playing games in a game company.
Card games?
And one of the nice features we have in our deck building is the ability to very easily duplicate a deck.
Yeah.
And what that means is that if you've got a deck you already like and you it works, then you can easily duplicate it, just kind of mess around, but you're not jeopardizing that initial original deck.
And as Fox says, that's a fantastic feature. And one of the things that I really like about getting everybody into deck building is we're going to be adding the ability to duplicate the basic decks.
Okay.
So a player who might look at deck building and find it a bit daunting, that's totally understandable.
Yeah.
It's a crazy thing. If you say, okay, make a deck, you're just like, where do I start? So we want to really give players this step and say, look, these basic decks, they're not rubbish decks. No,
they're not.
They're decks like guys like me, guys like Mod Fox, guys like that Jim. We've sat down and made these decks. With the cards available, they're good little decks. So when you start getting an extra few cards, don't hesitate duplicating it and just modifying it. See what happens.
Yeah.
And I think that just provides this really nice way to get people into deck building. And I can't wait for that to go in. That's going to be fairly soon, I believe.
You make me want to build decks now.
Yeah, I know. I love.
I've got a Lindsay deck at the moment, which is just winning all the games.
I have a Lindsay deck that has 50 cards in it at the moment.
50 cards?
I'm not playing it. It is called Silly Deck.
Okay.
It is everything shoved in it, and I'm gradually editing it down as I play different cards in.
Okay,
right.
That's
one way of going about it.
I'm not playing that 50 card deck.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there and it just gets edited occasionally. No, that's not going to work.
You sound like a bloody card player. That's the
problem. I may have played a few card games in my life.
May have been around the cards a bit in my time.
Is this the first time I've played poker? Yes, it's always the first time I've played poker.
What's poker?
How do you play this? So at the moment it's available for PC.
Yes.
And what are our plans about other platforms?
So our plans at the moment are a Mac client for early 2016.
Right.
I mean, we're also looking at iOS and Android phones later in that year.
Yeah.
When we move towards, more of a full launch, and after that, I really want to reinforce that we're not ignoring. We hear you guys going, we want a Mac client and stuff like that. Like, we are not by any means ignoring that. I'm trying to be as open as I can. Like, we are actively working on it.
Yeah.
And we'll have it to you guys when we can. Like, we appreciate that you want to play it on the device you want to play it on. We take that super seriously, and we're working as hard as we can to deliver it.
And for those Linux players out there?
Yes, that's also going to be a thing.
It's also on the list.
It is on the horizon.
Can we get it on microwaves?
Yeah, it's also coming out on toasters.
Toasters?
And the Sega Genesis.
Maybe like the cards could pop out the toaster.
Yeah, that'd be great, yeah.
That would work.
Yeah, that's how you draw cards. It just pings up and you get
Yeah,
cards.
or submit them by putting them down.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I think you've just blown our April Fools.
I think we're going to cancel the PC client and just do the toaster one instead.
Toaster version of...
Because I'm really liking the sound of that, to be honest.
You can double up with some sort of breakfast in the morning as well.
But what about people who cheat and have 4-slot toasters? They play 8 cards at once.
I have a 4-slot toaster.
See,
it's
what
pay to
about
win.
people like Matt He who cheat with his
to win,
4-slot toaster?
Yeah.
Pay to win, that's the problem.
That's what's... Yeah.
You and your toaster are the problem.
We are indeed the problem.
Why can't you just have a normal sized toaster?
Right, and now to bring you back on course.
Would that make you the breadwinner?
Oh, wow.
That was amazing.
This interview's over.
Yeah, again.
Drop mic, walk away. And the beta itself, what are our plans around the beta?
So we kicked it off yesterday, 25th of November.
This is recorded on Thursday morning for those of you, because obviously it's probably going to go out tomorrow morning.
So we're a few of us are nursing a little bit of post-celebration
Absolutely.
headaches.
Yes. I saw a couple of weary-looking faces this morning.
With some rigged bottles of Prosecco last night, I
Absolutely,
think.
yeah. So we've all sort of taken a break from spam replying to you all on every social media ever, and we're still celebrating. It's a great day for us.
Yeah. So we're really, really grateful and pumped, really, about the number of people who have expressed an interest in getting into our beta. There's thousands of people out there, and we're really excited about getting those people in.
Yeah.
Our plan, though, is to kind of just do it slowly at a time. We kind of want to give our servers a little bit of time just to kind of adjust to the number of people coming onto them, and also making sure that we're doing little improvements. So when new people come in and fine tune, they get slightly different experiences, hopefully improved experiences. So over the coming weeks, we'll be just letting more and more people come into our beta, but. Absolutely, we really wanted to get everyone involved.
Yeah, I just want to echo the sentiment there of thank you so much to everyone who's, even if you're not in the beta yet, just for showing interest, it means the world to us guys.
Absolutely, and the rest of the developers on the team are really excited now because it really gives us that validation. It really makes us feel like Chronicle can be something special. It really infuses everybody to really want to work on it even more so and make it an even better game.
Absolutely, even the silly comments we get on Twitter and stuff, just the jokes about people playing and stuff you have no idea how much those mean to us. I read all of them. I send them around. We love that stuff. So if you're enjoying the game, or even you just want to have a chat to us, please don't hesitate to get in touch.
So the beta, we're going to continue sending out keys.
Absolutely, there's going to be keys on a daily basis. I believe we'll be sending out quite a few more today. I'm also doing key giveaways all the time on Twitter and stuff. So if you're not in one of the waves, don't despair. There's always a chance to get a key. And one of the really great things that we're able to do is every single person who applies to the beta, at some point during the closed beta, we will invite to play.
Yeah.
So there is no chance of you're not going to fall down the well of forgotten email addresses. If you've applied, you're going to get to play Chronicle. I don't know whether it'll be today or next week, but we are going to give you a key. We're working as hard as we can to get those servers up to be able to deal with as many people as who want to play.
Okay. Are we looking at having beta wipes or anything like that at all?
So that might happen, and that's one of the risks, I suppose, of playing beta, which is we've been very clear about the fact that we want to be able to change our game and improve it.
Yeah,
and so that might be making changes to cards. It might be having to do a stat wipe at some point, really. So just bear that in mind when you play it. This is really about kind of seeing how you guys and players play our game, and then us making good adjustments to it.
Absolutely, and I can't make any solid commitment to it, but I know myself, ModFox, and everybody on the team is really keen to reward these people who are helping us so much.
Absolutely.
Because you are so crucial to us in our development at this stage that were there to be wipes at the end of the closed beta, I'm sure we would look towards giving you something as a thank you for helping us.
So how do people get involved?
Sign up, rschronicle.com, whack your email address in. There's all sorts of ways to get involved. Of course, there's signing up and hoping for a key.
Yep.
Like I say, we're giving out plenty. Everybody's going to get a key, so it's just a matter of time if you haven't got one yet. There's also key giveaways. I know myself, probably guys like JD and Balance, loads of guys on Twitter.
Yeah.
We're going to be handing out keys. Streams, they're going to be handing out keys. I'm going to be handing out keys on stream.
I've handed out keys to fan sites.
Absolutely, fan sites are going to have keys.
Can we throw them out in the streets of Cambridge as well?
Yeah.
Give keys out.
I mean, I've just took my Sharpie out, and I was probably not allowed, but I'm just writing them on things in Cambridge. So if you're in Cambridge, go out and look for weird letters being graffitied everywhere. Please don't tell the police. Other than that, if you want to get in the beta, there's many ways to get in the beta.
And the feedback. So the important part of the beta
100%.
is that feedback.
Absolutely.
We've been a load of us have already been reading all the forum posts that have been going up.
Absolutely,
Since
I read everything you post.
It's fantastic, and we've got our forums there where you can just write whatever you want. Just give us feedback, and we'll read it. I promise you.
Yep.
We have Twitter accounts; you can just message us directly. There's Facebook pages, I believe, as well.
Yep.
And we're not just saying it; it's like we will really read all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've only just stepped into the role of being a community manager.
Yeah,
absolutely. And one of the things that I'm really, really fond on is that I want to be as open as possible for players. Like, please don't be hesitant. Like, if you post anything on the forums, I will read it. Like, if you tweet me, I will read it. Like, if you're giving me feedback, your feedback will be taken into consideration. Because at the end of the day, you're helping us by giving us feedback. Like, there's no words for how much we appreciate that.
Yeah, it feels more, now that we've gotten to this beta bit, it really does feel like it's now collaborative.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically the players are part of the development team.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that's kind of reflected. And,
100%. I mean, you guys are the reason that there's a game.
Exactly. We're not making this game for us.
No.
Well, we were.
We are. That's just a byproduct. But at the end of the day, honestly, please, any feedback, don't hesitate to get in touch. There's a great subreddit that guys have set up as well, which is r/RS Chronicle. Go subscribe to those guys. They're wicked. They do all sorts of updates and stuff. I am on there all time as well. So if you post feedback out on the internets, I will find it.
We
might even post Mod Merchant's phone number as well at some point.
We are not posting Mod Merchant's
24/7 available to talk about all your issues.
That's what his Twitter account's for.
I can't promise it doesn't redirect to a random phone box in the countryside in Dorset, but we might put a phone number on. Have it flashing at the bottom of the screen.
So feedback's really important.
Absolutely.
But now we have the last question, your final question of the podcast. What's your favourite character?
No, you go first.
I'm going first.
So I can tailor my answer. To counter it now.
I would say I honestly do enjoy playing as all of the legends.
Yeah.
That's not my answer though, because that's an absolute cop-out.
It is.
That's like a politician's answer.
Yeah, that's like... I will be honest and say my favourite legend is Ariane. I absolutely love her. In other card games, I'm always about the combos. In Chronicle, it's got the greatest strategy and combos I've seen in a game.
Right.
And so I just gravitate towards that. Like I said, I love being that guy who you don't like very much, who just earth blasts you off the face of the earth.
For 20.
Yeah, for 20. Yeah, earth blast for 20. That should be my slogan. Seriously, just I need a tattoo of that. Just earth blast for 20. Yeah, exactly. That's my battle cry. I just charge it. Earth blast for 20, wielding my staff. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you chose Ariane because I was worried that we'd both choose the same one.
Who are you going to? Were you going to choose?
No, I'm choosing Linza.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Linza's my favourite.
I'm with you on Linza.
See,
that's just because you guys are scrubs and Linza's really strong.
Linza is for me one of the most satisfying characters because you can really build those upgrade chains.
I mean, at the end of the day, she has a card called Pulverize.
She does.
And hurls a weapon.
If you're given a choice of actions to do to your opponent and there's one called Pulverize, you're probably going to pick it.
I can throw my hammer in your face.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I've spent all this time making this awesome hammer. I'm just going to lob it at you.
And then make a new one.
Yeah, why not? No, but she is definitely my favourite legend at the moment, and I'm really enjoying the deck, which I've been built around her in the last few days. And yeah, but I'm sure that give it some time and playing against other people and seeing maybe Raptor and Ozan, these kind of motivations and kind of inspirations really come out of seeing other people are building decks.
I've noticed a lot of early Raptor love.
Yeah. And so it changes, right?
Yeah, you've got to give a shout out to Ozan as well. He's amazing fun. Yeah. I'm not giving a shout out to Raptor because everybody who plays Raptor can just, I will find you on the rank ladder and I will beat you. So that's my message for Raptor players.
Bring it on, it says Mod Merchant.
There you go, yeah, pretty much, bring it on. Queue up, add me in game, Merchant in game, challenge me. If you can beat me as Raptor, fair play.
And with that, I think it's time to say goodbye. if you'd like to say goodbye to the listeners.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. Tweet me, post anywhere. I'll get back to you. Thank you very much.
Yep, it's been fantastic talking. Hope to do this a lot more.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.